So I went in there first and had a little look around, and to be fair, their prices are just so close to eBay, it's almost pointless. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free trading game collection challenge, the series where we look to build a game collection for free, like the one that you see behind me. How do we do that? Well, we go out and we pick up some Facebook Marketplace deals, vintage deals, eBay deals, car boot sales, even retail. We look to flip on part of what we pick up, and we take whatever's left over into CEX, trade it in, get the credit, and we buy the games that you see behind me. Most of the stuff that you see is actually from CEX, from that trading method that we use. But as of late, we have been picking up more and more from just spending cash. So how does that make it free? Well, of course, along the way, we are accumulating profit. We're up to whatever the profit is on screen right now. And we go out sometimes once a week, generally, and we spend a little bit of that profit. In today's episode, I will spend a little bit of that profit. We're going shopping. But this time we're not going to CEX, we're going to Game. On my way to Game, I did pop in a few charity shops along the way, and I actually went into Cash Generator as well, which is like a pawn shop, I guess, if you're not from around these parts. It's called Regenerate now, actually, not Cash Generator. Anyway, my one is anyway. It used to be called Cash Generator. So I went in there first and had a little look around, and to be fair, their prices are just so close to eBay, it's almost pointless. Like, if you're really interested in picking up something specific that they have that you would be happy to pay eBay price for, it'd be worth jumping in there really and having a little look to see if the quality of it is any good, because the thing is with eBay, you can't inspect it before you buy it. I mean, obviously you can buy it, inspect it, and then maybe send it back if you're not happy, but then there's the whole will they even accept the return, etc., and so on. So it's handy in that sense, and they do have the odd game that are, sort of marked down, but for the most part anyway, they are bang on eBay prices, because that's how they buy things. They look at what it's going for on eBay, they offer you a percentage of that, and then they sell it for what eBay prices are, which is a little bit ridiculous because, retail, in my opinion, should be a little bit cheaper for second-hand stuff, but it is what it is. Then I went to a couple of charity shops. One in particular, my favourite charity shop actually in my local town. It normally has quite a few football tops and things. Not generally very good for video games. I have picked up a couple in the past. They had one that I was tempted by, and it was GTA 5 on the PS3. It was very clean. Like, the disc had minimal wear. The manual was perfect. The case felt like a new case. So I was tempted. It was £3. CEX sell it for $3.50. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to buy GTA 5, it's probably not going to be on a third-gen machine. And I say third-gen, I mean backwards. So we've obviously got, it's remastered for Xbox One and PS4. It's obviously been remastered again for PS5 and Xbox Series X. So am I really going to pick it up on a PS3? Am I ever going to play it on a PS3? No, the load times would have me there until tomorrow. So I left it, and I left everything else as well. Then I finally got to Game. So I'm having a little look around, and of course Game have this 3 for 2 on their video games. And of course it's across everything. It's not just Xbox specific. You can mix and match with Xbox, PlayStation, and various other things that they have. They don't really do any retro, and that's where I feel like Game go wrong. They used to back in the day when a lot of their stores were GameStation. GameStation used to do some retro stuff, quite a lot actually, because I used to work there at the time, and they used to do Mega Drive stuff. Even back when the Xbox One came out, they still had Mega Drive stuff on sale, and maybe even the odd bit of like Master System and Game Boy Advance and stuff. But unfortunately, they've completely done away with it. They've tried to go into the technology with phones and laptops and iPads and things, and they've neglected the older generation of games. You can't even buy Xbox 360 and PS3 in there anymore. They've binned it off completely, which I feel like is going to be the downfall of Game. They've already closed loads of stores, and they've had to merge with Sports Direct, and I think, is it John Lewis or someone really random? House of Fraser maybe? I can't remember. They've merged with someone random, but I don't think it's John Lewis. I think it is House of Fraser. Anyway, they've already closed loads of stores. They're going downhill. They really do need to reclaim some of it. And retro games are massive right now, so why not bring it back? That would be such a simple idea, But there we are. So I did pick up a few games. I picked up 3, and it cost me just under £6. And that's exactly what this segment of the series is all about. We go in, we look to spend a very small amount of money that we've made a profit, and we just add games that we wouldn't normally pick up to the collection. Now, what I mean by wouldn't normally pick up, I don't mean games that I'm never going to play, because I definitely will. These are 3 games that I would like to go... In fact, one of them I've played all the way through about 5 times, but I bought it anyway because it's been remastered, and I haven't played the remastered version. However, these are games I wouldn't pick up if I had credit. If I go in and I've got like a £15, £30 credit, I'm not going to be buying these type of games because they're only a couple of quid. And I feel like that it would be a waste to use credit on these games when I could go and just pick up something a little bit more substantial, like a boxed Mega Drive game or a boxed N64 game or something along those lines. Obviously not from Game, because they don't do that. But the first game I'm going to pick up is going to be one that a lot of people might question, but I've seen and heard a lot of good things about the single player campaign in this. And that is Titanfall 2. Now, you can't see the 2 because it's been covered up by stickers galore. It was part of the 3 for 2. This whole 3-game bundle, if you will, came to £5.98. So I could even have got another 3, and it still would have been under that £15 budget that we give ourselves within this segment. But Titanfall 2, I mean, the first one was okay, right? Online, I don't think it had a single player. This one does have a single player. In fact, it has a captivating single-player campaign, according to the back. It just sounded decent to me. I didn't mind the first one in terms of the mechanics and how it played and everything. It was just a case of, I would like to have a single-player experience. That was $1.99 by itself, or in the 3 for 2, which is what we got. The interesting thing about this is I took these games to the counter. And I used to work there, so I knew exactly what was coming. Well, I didn't know what was coming, actually. When you used to buy consoles, you used to offer an accidental damage cover. So if you drop it down the stairs or whatever, we will cover you and we will have it replaced. Or rather, a third-party company do it, but we are the facilitator, right? So it used to be like $24.99 for like a modern machine, which is not bad, but at the same time, a lot of people would just claim on their house insurance. But not everyone has house insurance. Anyway, to cut a very long story short, we were always incentivized to push these things, and we'd always get in a little bit of trouble if we didn't sell enough within the week. So I take the games to the counter, and it comes to £5.98. Each of these games basically £2 each, right? Would you like to cover these games against accidental damage and scratches for $1.99 or $1.50 or something? And I'm thinking, I mean, I know you have to offer it, right? And I know there's probably like a manager over your shoulder breathing down your neck, forcing you to do it, but am I really going to protect a game that is $1.99 for £1.50? I'm basically doubling the price of this game just in case I ever need to replace it. If I need to replace it, I can replace it for the same price. It was just, I laughed when he said it. I know he has to do it, but I still laughed. So the next one is a PlayStation 4 game. This was a banger back in the day. This one has some very bad reviews, but for the sake of like just trying it out, I thought I might as well. And this was the most expensive game that we had, but like I said, it all works out that they are £2 each. This is Contra Rogue Corps. Now, the old Contra is a classic, and you kind of have to have it if you have a video game collection. This, not so much. They remade it, but they remade it in a completely different way. I say remade it, they obviously rebooted it a little bit, but it's just completely different, and it doesn't play exactly like the same at all. It's not great, if I'm honest, but you know, I'll give it a go. I say not great. I haven't actually played it. I've seen videos of it, and I've seen people bash it and everything, but that was $3.99. Again, part of that 3 for 2. They're all sealed, of course, because Game don't trust anyone, which is fair enough, I suppose. A lot of people are thinking, well, why do they seal second-hand games? It's obviously so that you can't go home, unseal it, replace it with a different game that's broken, for example, and take it back and something. But then again, if you say, oh, it's faulty, they can't disprove you, and they would have to give you your money. I don't really know why they do it, actually. I was thinking at the time, why do they do it? And I was like, oh, yeah, of course, because then people couldn't, like, swap out and stuff. But then I'm thinking, people could just take a faulty disc back and say that you sold me that, and they wouldn't be able to prove otherwise. I don't know. And then finally, an Xbox One game, because we have one of those now. We've gone for the Gears of War. It says Ultimate Edition, but to be honest, unless it has a DLC code, I'm guessing it won't be. But again, this was $1.99, and that's what it worked out as well. So essentially, I've had that for $1.99 instead of $3.99. I'm sorry about the reflection, by the way. I have to have that light on because it's quite dark. You would not think it's the 28th of July. You really wouldn't. So there we go. $3.99, 3 for 2, Gears of War. It is the remastered version of Gears of War, I'm pretty sure. And like I said, I've played through Gears of War on the 360 about 5 times. Probably more, to be honest, here or there along the way. Remastered, why not? And only £2 as well. I mean, I know a lot of people would want to go for the new games. Sifu, right? Sifu looks insane. And I say new, that came out in May, I think. Maybe even earlier than that. But it was digital only. Now it's out physical, and I wanted the physical copy. It's $44.99, which I don't think is a terrible price, although I think it's cheaper to get the digital. But I do want the physical. But that game is brand new and it looks fantastic. But I'm happy to wait, and I'm happy to go back and play things like this. And maybe not happy to play it, but I will give it a go. And then, of course, Titanfall 2. The graphics on it are going to look decent. The gameplay is going to be good. And apparently it's captivating. So there we are. You can go out and buy a video game collection or add to your video game collection and buy some absolute bangers. So cheap. There is absolutely no difference with going out and buying older games that are $1.99, 50 pence, £1 even, than there is going out and buying a couple of films on DVD or Blu-ray, going home and watching them that you haven't seen before. You know, the older movies, a lot of people might not like them because the picture quality isn't that great or it's a little bit dated or whatever, but that's just select people. They're still very good films. Like Rocky was made in the 70s. It's still one of the greatest movies ever made. This game was probably made back in 2007, and okay, it's been remastered, but it is still a fantastic game. And for £2, I'm definitely going to go back and play that. And there it is. We've picked up 3. It cost me £6. I thought I'd take a little jaunt into game. Looking back, I probably should have looked for 3 more. I wasn't scraping the barrel with those. Like, I picked up Contra and I thought, yeah, go on then. There were a couple of others that I thought maybe I should have done, but yeah, I decided in the end that I would go for those 3. I'm not going to rule out going back into game again, though, and have a little look at their 3 for 2. Maybe spending a little bit more this time, because I've only spent £6. I could easily have spent like £4 or £5 per game. In fact, I could have spent £5 per game. It only would have cost me a tenner. It's still within the budget. So next time I think we'll go back and maybe look to spend just that little bit more. But that's going to do it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed it, and maybe you've gone back recently and picked up a game that you played many moons ago, but you've gone back and gone, do you know what, I love that game, I'm going to go play it again. Let me know what it is. If you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.